Hello, friends. Joey Connect again here with another episode of our Engage Field Notes. This one happens to be for client onboarding. If you're new to us or new to our Field Notes kind of concept, here's the fact. We have the pleasure of working with hundreds of clients in many different verticals, and we're helping them solve a lot of problems around complex sales, client onboarding, client success, or account management. Excuse me, and renewals. And we feel kind of an awesome responsibility that with all of our clients, we're solving problems together. Each client is a little unique. The environment they're dealing with, the clients are dealing with, are all a little unique. But there are nuggets of all of this that are highly valuable to others outside of their walls. And of course, I talk about this in an abstract format, no naming of clients, but it's really more about telling you what we're seeing and what we're hearing, and maybe this relates to some problems you're having. So this field note is about onboarding, and this one we have another really good field note about consistency and the risk of a handoff that you might want to check out. It's another field note related to the handoff process from sales to onboarding. This one is kind of a natural extension of that one that we're hearing with partners. And it's really many of our partners, before they come to us, struggle with that onboarding process. So the onboarding process, client onboarding process, for many of our clients has kind of been tribal knowledge and metastasized over time. And so a lot of times there isn't a clear-cut process around that and or checklist or kind of system to run that onboarding process, because you can't necessarily, in most cases, set the client a project plan and just be like, here's a big ass project plan, execute, because they're like, what is all this, right? Because a lot of the duties are on your side, but really what you're trying to do is control the client side. And here's the delta that we're hearing a lot of, that we're trying to help partners with, and we're seeing good success on. But the problem is that in B2B sales, there's in many times 3 months, 6 months, 1 year, if not longer, amount of conversations with the sales teams with the prospect. And a lot of things have been promised. A lot of things have been yes on that side. And it's not a negative of the sales team. We're not going to get into the blame sales, blah, 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 blah. Right? Probably a lot of those yeses they don't even remember, right? And if they were really ever even said. So there is this kind of awkward delta that happens. Well, for a lot of our partners, when they're now starting to onboard that client, what we're trying to help them do, sorry, my eye is real edgy today. What we're trying to help them do is identify those high-risk things really early in the onboarding process, so that this can be identified, course-corrected, whether the contract needs to change, or there's a real roadblock, or it buys more time to obviously help figure out a solution or another approach that might achieve the same goal for the client. So there's a lot of groups that when they're onboarding, they're kind of hiding and kind of getting the client launched up. What we're helping a lot of our partners do, and I think this is whether you use us or not, this is kind of some of the things, is creating that onboarding checklist process, and then supporting that, but then also support and sort that by kind of the high risk things related to your platform or service, so that you're getting those addressed earlier in the onboarding process, because that allows the relationship still to be healthy. It allows you to then build that relationship around, okay, well, maybe this just says, well, maybe X or Y, and be able to collaborate and communicate to help resolve that before a whole ton of work is done. And at the end, there starts to become a lot of problems as you're starting to test or onboard them or go to market with them. And so some of this is bringing kind of your red dot items, your Johari window kind of elements there, and moving them towards the front. And so using a checklist process, or an onboarding checklist, or a client qualification, or just getting all the hard things, or at least potentially hard things, out early, so that there's open and candid conversation on those, so that the relationship with the sales team is still strong, and all those other leaders who have helped sold it are still in your company, still there to help make those any hiccups there less of a hiccup, right? So it's addressing the problem and leading the onboarding with really knowing from your back of the mind, whatever product or service you're selling, that kind of the risk factors, right? If that is a problem, this thing's dead or whatever. So moving those to the front of the process also builds confidence. It's kind of contrarian. Sometimes groups are a little nervous. I don't want to have conflict or any kind of challenges there, but reality is the client themselves actually appreciates you addressing the harder to address items right away, because then that shows that you guys have confidence in your modalities of what you're doing, but then also that you're ultimately trying to make the best solution for them. So a lot of times tough conversations are the key to a great client relationship. And so these are things just wanted to share. Obviously, we're helping clients do this with our platform and communication and collaboration and all of our onboarding things. But whether you use our platform or not, I think looking at your own process, trying to identify what are the things that kind of snag us in the end, or other things that might be going on, getting those to the beginning of your onboarding process to really kind of kill those problems sooner and faster, and have that more open dialogue because all the other team members are still involved. So mutual accountability is really what it's about, being able to develop that relationship with the client, and that's a great way to do that. So great nugget of knowledge. Many of our clients obviously experiencing this, especially a lot of our tech clients, because there's a lot of confusion around features, or yes, they said that, or this or that, and it's nobody's ill intent. It's just getting that all cleared up, and that's what it's about. That's what a successful partnership and a relationship is about. So thought you guys would love that one. Again, check out, we got ones related to complex sales, onboarding, all sorts of things that you're hearing. And if you have something, send an email to sales@proteus.co, and we'll do articles, field notes on anything that you want. We're just seeing a lot of stuff. We elevate the ones we think that have more mass volume here. So I appreciate it. We'll talk to you guys soon. Thanks.